Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Alan Klepper, and talking today with Pamela Ballard, the Executive Director of the United Way. Did I get it right?
You did.
I actually
Great
got
job.
it right this time. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's been a great year for United Way.
Absolutely. Now, the last time we talked, we were in the middle of the campaign. It's been like 6 months ago. Tell me a little bit about what's going on now.
Well, we're still in the middle of campaign. Always will be raising money for the great causes of United Way. But we have really, the work this year has been phenomenal. As you know, you're very active in the board.
Sure.
Board president, and so we've seen the opening of the Carver Early Education Center, full of little 4-year-olds, full of life. We've had that accomplished. We just finished a couple of weeks ago our first ever Day of Kindness, which was a community-wide effort, and that was just such a great event to be involved with and part of, and so many people made that possible in our community.
There's a lot of stuff. Let's back up. Let's start with the Carver Center.
Yes.
This whole thing was based on a lot of people coming together with a common goal in mind, saying, "Okay, we've got this need. We need a place where these 4-year-olds, before school kids, can learn a little bit more, get them in a better situation." Not only United Way monies, there was other monies involved. And if I start talking about monies, I'm going to mess it up, but.
No, you're doing a great job. That's right. There's an education committee that's part of the Enid Metropolitan Human Services Commission. We saw a need that there was a waiting list for 4-year-olds. A lot of partners involved, a lot of community folks who are very generous, put their money together, and then that was matched in part from the Inasmuch Foundation out of Oklahoma City. And so we used the Carver School, which was in existence but it needs remodeling, and so this year in August that school was open. It's still in the process of some remodeling work, but there are about 110 little 4-year-olds. It's a dedicated school for 4-year-olds where they are learning, and that makes such a difference in how they will perform all the way through high school. If you can get the children in at that age, it really increases graduation rates and decreases a lot of what we call negative social indicators all the way through drug use, alcohol use, early teen pregnancies, those kind of things. It's amazing what happens when you get the children in a quality preschool environment early.
And the truth is, a lot of those kids come from a situation where their parents aren't bad. It's not about bad parents, but it's about getting them into a situation where they can learn just a little bit more, learn how to read a little bit earlier.
Do with brain development and certain parts of the brain that if they're not engaged by a certain age, by age 5, then those brain, that part of the brain, it doesn't operate after that time frame.
And I can think that those parents would be super excited that it's there too.
It's
giving them an opportunity.
They are, and then we, in addition to just having the school there, then we dedicated funds for a 3-year parent educator to be there for those parents, to assist them with different things for children actually from birth to age 4, which we all need as parents to help us just with what happens at this developmental age, and so that's been a great asset as well.
Awesome. In the middle of the year, Pamela comes up with this crazy idea. Hey, let's go around and just do some really cool things for some really cool people, and the random acts of kindness idea.
Yeah, part of our campaign theme this year was Plug into United Way, Transform Lives, and we challenged people that in addition to pledging money to change lives through our partner agencies, that we pledge to do an act of kindness every day. So World Day of Kindness, November 13th, and we did just decide to set aside that day to go throughout the community and pay for groceries for people, prescription, gas, just wherever we could see a need, that we would kind of jump in and do that. And a lot of businesses helped to make that possible. And then at the end of the day, donate a car to a worthy individual.
Excellent.
And yes, that was just so much fun to be able to do that. And it was the efforts of a lot of people, NBC Bank, 4J's Tires, Weimer Brownlee, Safelite Auto, YWCA. Oh gosh, and I know I'm leaving out a ton of people who made that possible, but and some individuals too who donated, money and really. And I'm leaving Northcutt Auto and Stewart Nissan. Yes.
She'll think about this once
I know.
when we're done. She'll be
terrible. So to all of you who donated money to make that day so great, thank you.
Back up a few weeks before that, though, we met at Enid High School at the University Center.
Yes.
And
what a great day.
Took pledges. I don't have any numbers. I don't know if you got the numbers in your head, but
yes. On that day alone, we received over pledges from people who said they would commit over 3 million acts of kindness between that day, which was September 18th, and April 15th. 3 million acts of kindness within our community. And then later on, we had more pledges that came in. It came in close to 4 million. Awesome. And so I still just hear reports from people on a regular basis about what someone has done for them, what they're doing for others, and not in a bragging sense, but how it's just really opened their eyes to what can be done. Like they'll be in the parking lot at Jumbo's and they'll see an elderly person being struggling to get their groceries in their car, and their children will be with them, and they use that as a teachable moment to say, you just need to make yourself aware of your surroundings and help someone in need when you see them.
The one thing, and it's interesting because these little tidbits, these things that we tried to do on a daily basis, I don't know what the number is, how many times you have to do something before it becomes a habit. I think it's
21 days.
Something like, let's say 15 to 20 days, whatever. What I have found is some of the stuff that I was doing on purpose, really trying to make myself do, I do now on a daily basis just because it's what you do rather than what you try. And my thing was I tried. I'm still working on it, to be a better driver, to be a kinder driver, driving down the road, because it's like, that guy cuts you off or pulls in front of you or whatever it is, and it happens to us every day in Enid, America. People drive like idiots, and I'm one of them. And I decided I'll slow down a little bit, and if the guy wants past me, just go. I'm not in that big a hurry, and you take the time to look over at the person and give them a wave or a smile, and it diffuses that anger in their face sometimes. And so that's what I've tried to do as my act of kindness this year.
And I say it really does change you as well.
Yeah, it does.
It's not that it just helps the other person and makes their day better, but it really does put you in a better state of mind and makes your day brighter and better as well.
Yeah, and it starts rubbing off. And the next thing, case in point, driving up Oakwood, where Oakwood comes into 2 lanes on North Oakwood, and everybody races to get to that northbound lane by Garland. I believe
it's really close to a church, isn't it?
It's right next to the. It's right next to the. I don't remember, but it's right next to Glenwood.
Yes.
Right there. And I started pulling off and letting people in front of me. And what I noticed is when I did that, they would let people in front of them. It was. I don't know.
It's very contagious.
Yeah.
This kindness thing.
We also have to talk about the fact that we're really glad that Ice Bucket Challenges are not in December.
Yes, but that was a great cause to be part of, and of course someone very near and dear to our hearts, Kelvin Klassen, a very generous community member and board member of United Way, as we know, struggles with ALS, and we did take part of that and challenge others to be part of that as well, and I think there was a great deal of money raised for that, and that's something that kind of segues into something that United Way has really expanded the last couple of years or so to be more than just raising money for agencies, giving out money. We really try to be part of community and impact our community in a number of different ways. I think United Way, we've always tried to be part of the community and agencies, but we really want to be part of those decisions that are made that can impact lives on a number of different levels. We have 3 focus areas: education, health, and financial stability for the families in our community, because we really believe if we can make an impact in those areas, we can help in generational cycles of poverty and put our families on a course that will help them be the best they can be, not just for their time, but for future generations to come. And that's really what we want to be about.
The thing that I found out about the United Way, and I got involved in the United Way because I was looking for an organization that was kind of an encompassing, an umbrella type of organization that I could, the best bang for my buck, and I hate to say it that way, but I really was looking for that. But when I got involved in it, and the deeper I got into it, the more I found out that it not only is helping a lot of people, there are a lot of really good people within the United Way organizations and the different groups that do within the different organizations that I politically or maybe economically or socially really don't fit in with, that on any other given day I would go, you know, I don't know that I even like that person. And what I'm finding is with this common goal of the United Way is people that I still don't agree with. I mean, you're an OU fan, for crying out loud. Case in point. I'm an OSU fan. But you come together and it just doesn't really matter what team you're rooting for because you're working with the United Way and you're helping out so many people.
You have such a common goal.
It's really, it's really kind of changed my outlook on the whole thing. So.
Yeah, some of the other things are put aside when you work together to make lives better in the community, that those things just fall by the wayside. And it really doesn't matter when you see the lives in our community, those people who really need help the most, and you say, boy, if we just work together, then we can make things happen. We can change lives. I mean, when you look at the lives of these little 4-year-olds, I mean, it really doesn't matter that you went to school at OSU.
No, it doesn't.
Right? That doesn't matter.
It really
to
doesn't
me
matter at all.
That we can work side by side and make things happen, or you know, it doesn't matter your political affiliation. I really have no idea. You and I have worked very closely together since I came to town, and I really have no idea.
Right.
And I don't care.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is what can we do to really make a difference in people's lives, and how can we make money go farther, and how can we build collaborations that will make a difference. And I think if I had anything to say is that, you know, it's never too late to get involved. You know, people used to say, well, our campaign runs August through November, but it doesn't. It's ongoing. So for, you know, anyone, if you're a business owner or you have employees and you think that's really something I think our employees would like to be involved with, whether it's volunteering. We have a lot of people who call and they want to do something, you know, hands-on. We certainly do that all the time, put people in touch with the organizations where they can volunteer, or if you want to do payroll deductions, we can set that up at any time during the year for you. Come and visit, set up, you know, tours at any of our agencies. You can always do that. There's always a good time to get involved with United Way.
And like you said, there's so many different agency organizations. I mean, you could work with Boy Scouts, you could work with the Y, you could do CDSA. And I cannot go down that trail and name all of them, but I do know there's stuff for men to do, for women to do, old and young alike.
Yes, our teenagers. I mean, there's anyone who wants to do, if you have some community hours that you need to do, we can certainly pair you up with anyone, something that fits your interest. You know, if it's education, whether it is preschool or middle school, high school, and you want to do some mentoring, we do have programs that you would be interested in working with, food bank, whatever that is.
It's a great program. As far as getting a hold of the United Way, I know how to get a hold of you, but I don't know what numbers you want to get out over the
our
TV.
office number is 580-237-0821. My email address is pballard, B-A-L-L-A-R-D, @unitedwayenid.org.
Excellent, excellent stuff. We've got a couple of minutes left. Let's look at 2015. What's on the horizon? What's cooking in your brain for next year?
Well, we within our education committee, we are looking very much at a mentoring program that would work. We do a lot of research and a lot of studying to see what it is that will help with the things that are really important to our community. And as I mentioned earlier, increasing graduation rates is just key to so many of those indicators that will help people succeed for now and for generations to come. So looking at what kind of mentoring program we could help establish within our schools, and of course we work closely with everyone in our school system from the superintendent down. So that's something that's really going to be critical and key, and something that we're excited about unveiling hopefully in 2015. And
awesome.
Yes, we're really excited about that.
It is so not just about a chili cook-off, getting monies to help out organizations at this point. It is really, the face of the United Way has really changed, partly because of you, mostly because of you, planting some really good seeds with a lot of really, really good people in some key
Great
places.
people. This community is so full of wonderful people.
It is amazing how many cool people there are in Enid, and I'm glad I've had a part in it and meeting those people.
Play a big
So,
part. And you, the radio station, helping get the word out. We, the newspaper, we really couldn't do what we do
Oh, yeah.
without
It's,
all those people who help us.
and so that's cool, and I'll throw a challenge out to all the media people in Enid. Get involved with the United Way, like I said primarily. It's a great place, an umbrella organization. You're helping out so many people at the same time. I ate lunch with a homeless guy twice, who, by the way, is not homeless anymore. He's planted,
Oh,
he's
that's
plugged
wonderful.
in, he's got a job, he's got a home. Success stories all over the place. You got to look for them, but they're there. So
They are.
great stuff.
Yes.
Again, what's the phone number to the United Way?
580-237-0821.
Awesome. Hey, thanks a lot to the Enid Television Studios. What a great
Yes,
facility
yes,
they have here.
wonderful.
Great upgrades going on all the time. You got to keep watching and keep up to date with what's going on. Thanks.
Hello and welcome back to Community Talk. My name is Tracy Biddle. I'm the Associate Director of Leonardo's Children's Museum located here in Enid, and I'm joined by Shailene Jones, our Marketing Coordinator, and we're going to spend the next few minutes telling you about some really exciting things that are going to be happening in downtown Enid. Shay, we're preparing for an event at Leonardo's. Would
Yes, we
you
are.
share with everybody what we're getting ready for?
Right now we're getting ready for our big New Year's Eve event. And going on with New Year's, it's going to be a family fun event. We're going to have carnival games and activities. A free lunch is provided by Advanced Pierre Foods. They've always good about donating to us about when we're needing food for events. And during New Year's Eve, we're going to have a lot of fun stuff for the children to participate in. Like I said, we have the carnival games, and then we're going to do our balloon drop, because since it's New Year's, we're going to have the kids count down to noon, because so many of the little ones, they don't stay up till midnight to see the ball drop and hang out with the big kids. So we are going to have the balloon drop, and then we also have a pile of party poppers that we get to pass out to the kids, and they get to pop at noon. And so there's a lot of fun activities. And
So essentially the family can come to the museum at 10 a.m. and they'll go to the second story or floor of our museum, and it's going to be set up like a carnival.
yes.
We're going to teach Segway rides, and
Yes.
we're going to have a bounce house, games, all kinds of fun things for about 2 hours. And then the way the adults count down to New Year's Eve, we count down to noon year. And so right before noon,
Yeah.
we start counting down, and from the ceiling we'll drop hundreds, literally, of balloons that we will spend days before making.
Yes.
Days before working hard on.
everything together.
Yes.
And
yes.
so, and the good thing is you don't have to be a member of Leonardo's to do this event. And you do get a lot more benefits being a member of Leonardo's, but it's $3.50 for members, $7 for non-members, and that includes admission to the museum and Adventure Quest all day. So
Right,
that's a
and
great
on a regular
benefit.
basis, you can pay $8 to
Yes.
attend just the museum and Adventure Quest for the day. But if you come on one of our special event days, you have the admission for all day, greatly discounted, plus all of the extra things going on that day. The families go home with hands full of gifts and prizes and things. Do you want to share a little bit about our drawings and things that are going to take place?
Yes, and thanks to Safelite Auto Glass here in Enid, they donated. They're sponsoring the event, and they're donating tote bags, and so you can bring all your prizes home in the tote bags. So a big thanks to Safelite Auto Glass for that. And so every 15 minutes, we're going to have door prizes being drawn, and so we have a lot of great coupons and gifts from the community businesses. And so we're also going to have grand prizes at the end, and so it's going to be a big benefit if you stay till the end, till
What would be
noon.
an example of like a grand prize?
One of our grand prizes, it's going to be involving fun. It's going to involve your family and stuff you can do together. It's not just going to be a
Right.
one-person gift. We're going to make sure the whole family can participate in these grand prizes. So
Right.
they're really exciting.
Okay. We just added the balloon drop last year, and we weren't too sure about how that would go over, but when I pictured what I saw on television. It always incorporated balloons falling from the ceiling, and it was a tremendous hit with the children. And then I think they enjoyed popping the balloons about as much as they enjoyed them falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. So you mentioned that you don't have to be a member. Basically, if you have a membership, you get half price usually admission to any event. But we have some special things in December for memberships. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we have our December membership drive going on, and that's where all memberships are discounted. And so you can pick and choose what membership package works best for you. You can add on just your basic family package all the way up to 10 people in one package. And so it's great for families who have nieces and nephews and grandkids to all go together to Leonardo's and have good family fun.
And basically, the membership's good for a year, and if you attend the museum, 2 or 3 days, you pay for your membership. So if you really plan on taking advantage of a lot of the programs that we have, it's so wise to go ahead and get your membership because it's going to pay for itself very quickly. It's going to provide you tremendous discount, to really high quality activities, always family centered and very safe, healthy activities. So, okay. And we have the special discount in December.
Yes.
I also thought when you were saying that, wouldn't that be a great gift for if you're a grandparent and you've got children, grandchildren, and families that you need to buy for. We have sold some fantastic gift certificates where the grandparent can come in and buy a membership for a year. You're essentially buying your grandchildren a year of educational activities focused on arts and sciences, and it's a really fun gift to give too.
Yes, and even if you are out of town wanting to buy a gift for someone in town, if you're just visiting family, just make sure you buy that membership in that person's name who's receiving it, and we'll take care of the rest. And so there's really great benefits that come along with that.
For more details on the membership, our website is a great place to go, and it's www.leonardos.org. You could look at details on that website, and then you could perform the transaction over the phone if you called the museum during business hours. It is the season of giving.
Yes.
So let's talk about some other year-end activities. Seems like a whirlwind around the museum right now. But we do have the opportunity to be a gift site. We have a tremendous gift shop. You want to talk about a couple of items in the gift shop that are your favorites?
Yeah, I've already purchased some of my Christmas gifts that I'm going to be giving because they're so educational and hands-on, and I know the children are going to immediately want to open it there at your house and rip the gift open and start playing with it.
Right.
And so you can go and get your art and science kits. There's magic kits. Even for the younger kids, we have puzzle sets and art easels.
And the ones that are for the little kids, what I've really enjoyed is they're really high quality. It's Melissa and Doug and other really high-end brands to where the pieces that the children take apart and put back together are made of things like wood and things that really stand up to a lot of hard play.
Yes, and so those are fun to have.
Yes, and remember, if you do have a membership at Leonardo's, you get discounts when you purchase the gifts as well. And mentioning the season of giving, Leonardo's has a wish list that we always want to remind people about. Being nonprofit, 501c3, and doing a lot of educational classes, we always try to feed our classes and provide them all the products for the class at the lowest absolute possible cost. So there's an opportunity for you to give by looking at our wish list, which is at the website, leonardos.org. We also have an annual campaign, which helps us with our operation funds that happens every year. And then we also have our capital campaign going on. If you really wanted to make a mark on the community of Enid, Leonardo's is growing leaps and bounds. Going to be expanding in the next year, and there's opportunities to sponsor parts of the museum and have your name on that with the community, literally, tens of thousands of people seeing it each year in the community. So lots of opportunities there, and remember, all of the donations are tax deductible. We always like to remind people of that. And that's kind of how we're winding down 2014.
We've had a really big year with a lot of big jumps and getting in the groove of where we want to see things going. And so it's really exciting to see how the plans come into play. Leonardo started with the community. This Leonardo's is going to come to an end with the community, but then it's also restarting all over again with the community. And so that's where it begins and ends. So 2015
is going to be our 20th anniversary celebration. So you're going to see us planning and preparing for that. The museum will have been in existence for 20 years in 2015. Adventure Quest for about 18 years. But as we start 2015, we don't want to forget about those great educational offerings. We have a few educational programs starting up first of the year, real quick, if you want to touch on those.
We have our Highland Partner Science Adventure Club, which is a great science program for students who want to come and learn more about hands-on art and science programs. And then we also have our Tools for Homeschool. It's about students who are homeschooled and their parents want to get them more involved with art and science classes as well. And
sometimes
so
hard requirements to meet.
Definitely.
So we help the parents that are teaching at home with that. And then we also have added in an apprentice art, which as a matter of fact, I'm going to have one this afternoon. So if you have a young teen that might be interested in volunteering, getting involved, making some new friends, throughout the year we meet once a month and do art. And then in the summer we focus on volunteer programs. So that pretty well sums up or introduces you to our 2015 at Leonardo's. Thank you, Shay, for joining me here at Community Talk.
thank you.
It's fun to share what's going on. Please be sure and visit our website at www.leonardos.org. Mark on your calendar, December 31st, 10 a.m. to noon will be New Year's Eve celebration. And then keep in mind all those other activities that we mentioned. Again, you could get more details on the website or always call the museum at 580-233-2787. This is Tracy Biddle and Shailene Jones saying thank you for joining us here at Community Talk.
Hello, everyone. We're the Blue Star Mothers, and I have our president with me here today, Brenda Bingham, and we're just going to talk about the end of the year things and coming up a new year, and we'll start off with our meetings.
Yes, our meetings are the fourth Thursday of every month. Well, that's the care packaging. I always have to mess this up. And our meetings is the second Thursday of every month at 6:30. So if you would like to join us, feel free to. We can always use the new moms. We've got a lot of guys that's dropping in the store saying that they're going in or they just went in. So come on, moms, come join us and have fun.
Yeah, and also if you can't be a Blue Star Mother, you can, man or woman, or can be an associate. And we have some associates that help us a lot. And,
That's right.
And just come with us to support our troops and everything. And now we're going to talk about the mall, our store at the mall, and open for till after Christmas or
right
before.
Right now, we're open every day from 10 to normally 7 or 8. Just depends on how busy we are. But we're there every day until the 23rd, possibly the 24th, if we have enough volunteers. But we're wrapping gifts for donations. And, you know, we really have a good time wrapping the gifts. And, but it also helps us to help continue to send the care packages. So if you need a gift wrap, stop by the store. We'll be glad to help you out and just chat with us a little while.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the veterans in the nursing homes and what we're doing for them this time of year.
Yes, we all, the Blue Star Mothers, got together and we packed little bags about so tall, and they say thank you for your service. I believe it just says thank you, but it's red, white, and blue. And we packed those with oranges and cookies and some candies and some little lotions and some shaving cream, I believe, items that they could use on a daily basis, plus a Christmas card. And we delivered them to all the nursing homes in Enid and Garber, and Hennessy. We have one nursing home in Enid that we're going to wait and deliver theirs next week because they had a lot of flu going
Yeah,
through.
that's going around this time of year.
So they asked us to hold off on theirs, but we still have them ready. And it was so much fun to do. And it's such a blessing to go to the nursing homes and to see the faces when they receive these packages, and they're so thrilled.
Also, Advanced Air Force Base has been a great support of the Blue Star Mothers through the years and everything. So we want to give a little bit of that support back with some cookies and stuff that a
Right.
lady's picking up, I think, is it the
In the
19th?
morning.
Oh,
In
in
the
the
morning.
morning.
Which this is Wednesday, so Thursday morning. It's cookies for all of the single airmen, and there's a few married men out there that, because of their training or whatever, they're not able to get home, and they don't have their families here. So I think it's called Operation Cookie something another.
And if anyone else would like to donate, they could bring their cookies to the Blue Star Mother
Oh,
room because they have like
exactly.
400 of these.
Exactly. And so we have some that will be picked up in the morning, but if you have extras and you want to drop them off this afternoon, that would be great. We'll be at the store till, like I said, probably about 7:30 or 8, and then which this probably won't air in that time. But the store opens at 10 o'clock Thursday morning. So if you have cookies and you want to drop them off, we'll be sure that they get them.
Yes, yes, that is a great thing for the Vance Air Force Base. I know the airmen out there, a lot of them probably won't get to go home for Christmas, like our
Exactly.
troops that are in Afghanistan, Iraq, or Africa, or wherever, Korea, wherever they're at. You know, there's a lot of them that won't get to come home for Christmas.
Exactly.
So that would be very special to them.
Yes, and I was at the mall. I was wrapping a gift, and Sergeant Ted, he helps us out at the mall too, as an associate, along with Colleen Payne, and they was at the store with me, and they was doing something, and pretty soon Sergeant Ted comes over and he says, "Brenda, here's one of our troops that we have been sending packages to, and he
that's
wanted to meet you." So it was thrilling to get to meet this young man, and he was thrilled that he got our packages. And he's from Ringwood, and so it was just very nice. And we've had several stop in. One of them that stopped in this week was from San Antonio, and he received our care packages, and he stopped in to say thank you.
Wasn't Sergeant Settles, was it?
No.
Okay. We sent to him when he was in Iraq and stuff, you know, there at the 28th Combat Hospital. And he was from San Antonio. That's why I asked.
Well, this one just happens to be stationed there right now.
Oh, I
At
see. Yeah.
Fort Bliss, I believe.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, but it's a thrill to be at the store and
Yes.
for these people to come in and let you know that they have received our packages and how grateful they are, you know. But we're just as thankful for them, and we want to make sure they have everything.
I knew Sergeant Michael Gordon.
Uh-huh.
He was over there in Iraq. We had about 18 different names over there at that time. And I think it was 07. And I see him quite often, but he is always thankful. And he was out at the Memorial Day service too.
Oh, yes.
And he got his name on the wall out there. So if there's any of the soldiers or troops or airmen or Navy or anybody that has
Right.
from Oklahoma that don't have their name out there at the Wall of Honor out there, you know, east of town out there at Woodring Airport, you know, let us know, and between us and
yes.
Elaine, we'll see that they get their name on there because we
Exactly.
appreciate all they do and their sacrifice and their service.
Right. And you know, a lot of them will tell you that they don't want their name out there. It's just my job. But you know what? When they see it,
Right.
it really, you can tell by the look
And
in
they
their
get that
eyes.
etching with their name. It's just kind of, you know, you
Yes.
almost come to tears. It's
You
really
do.
heartwarming.
You do. And for Sergeant Gordon, it was especially nice for him this year because of him being in the accident last year.
Right.
And, you know,
He's
so
come such a long way.
he
He is
has.
such a wonderful person.
So,
of course,
you
they all
know,
are.
we're thankful that he come through the war and all that, but then
Yeah.
he had another battle when he got here. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And a lot of them do. They're either in a motorcycle accident or maybe a health issue or whatever.
Exactly.
So, you know, sometimes they have a battle at home, but
Exactly.
usually with the Wounded Warriors and everything that tries to help all the organizations, they can make it.
exactly.
They can make it.
Exactly.
And we love them all dearly.
Yes. And you know, Karen and I, we do this Enid television most of the time. Once in a while, we'll have someone else come on. But I would like to personally thank our Blue Star mothers. You know, they don't always get a recognition from anyone. And as the president, I would like to say thank you to all of you, because without you, I could not do this.
And we have, over 7,000 over the nation. And I
Yes.
want to thank Brenda. She's been the awesome president, and
Well,
she's
thank
also
you.
on the national patriotic instructor, and she got to hold the American flag at the Wounded Warriors Veterans Day at the Wounded Warriors.
At the Tomb of the Unknown
Yeah, the Tomb of the
Soldier.
Unknown Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very humbling. And, you know, so Blue Star Mothers has been an awesome thing for me. It's really, you know, when your son serves, as you know, sometimes you just don't know where to turn. You don't know what to do. But Blue Star Mothers was there for me, and I'm very thankful.
And your first-time mothers. I know me as a first-time mother. Well, actually, my daughter is a veteran, but she was served in Germany.
Right.
But of course, my son served Iraq and Afghanistan. But you just don't know, because they say, "Mom, go on with your life. Mom, family, go on with your life." You know, I'm going to be deployed, but you go on with your. But how do you not worry?
Exactly.
And I know every mother goes through all of this.
Yeah, it's my job, right? No. It's my job to
To worry, yeah.
turn white-headed.
Right. It's like all Blue Star mothers have earned their gray hair.
That's right. We have all of it.
And all families, you know, our Gold Star families do this. Their child has
Exactly.
paid the ultimate sacrifice, you know,
Exactly.
and we have a lot of Gold Star mothers around Enid and the area, you know,
we
too.
do. We do.
And all over the nation. But and we want to thank those families. And as I said, you know, they've made the ultra sacrifice. But at the Christmas season, you know, it's just it's hard to have someone deployed. These
It is.
families that have their children, their wife, their husband deployed. You know, it's a hard time because, you know, we talked to a guardsman in the dollar store the other day. He had been on 5 deployments,
Exactly.
but yet he's home now for this holiday. But and we thanked him for his service, you know. And
Exactly.
anytime we see anybody in an airport or like the dollar store or anywhere else, you know,
Wherever. You
we
know.
always want to give them a hug and thank them for their service. And he's like he said too, that's my job. I do it.
Exactly.
And I said, you probably do it really well.
Exactly.
You know.
I think they all do it very well,
Yeah,
and
it
we're
takes
so
every
thankful.
branch of the service to make it work.
That's right. There's
when
not
we're in
one
harm's
that's
way.
any better than the other. They're all the same.
And we need to pray for Pakistan and the students and the families of the students there. I know probably everybody's heard that on the news. We want to pray for them.
Yes.
We want to thank several people. First off, Enid Television Network. It's been a wonderful year being here.
It
And we're
has.
hoping for a good year next year, which will probably be. And, you know, we hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And
We
be sure
do.
and say Merry Christmas, not Happy
Exactly.
Holidays.
Exactly. We're kind of opinionated with
Oh,
that.
we're opinionated. That's our opinion. Everybody
yes.
has their own opinion, you know.
But that's okay.
The Blue Star
because
mothers say Merry Christmas.
That's right. And, you know, for all of Northwest Oklahoma, for the ones that, you know, we can't name them all, we'd miss someone. And I've said this before, but, you know, we're very thankful for all of you. We're very thankful for anyone that walks through our doors and gives us $1, a quarter, whatever, it goes to our troops, and we make sure that they have them.
And then at times it goes to our veterans too,
That's
which,
right.
you know, past, present, and future, we got to remember all of them, because that's why we're the land of the free and the home of the brave,
That's
you know,
right.
because of all of our veterans.
And some of our associates are past, and they choose to come in and help. And sometimes they've got some stories that can just really get to you too.
Yeah.
So you know, sometimes it just takes an ear just to sit there and listen and to let them know that you care.
Right. And all of our
So-
veterans organizations here just in the Enid area, you know. And some of our national organizations
Right.
too help all the Blue Star Mothers across the nation.
Exactly.
So,
You know, I would like to say again, thank you all so much. Thank you, Penn, for the phone calls to make sure that we're here on time. And just thank you, America, and thank you for our young men and women who serve and keep us free.
yeah, every mother has a story, and every family too. And, you know, it's just amazing how far we have come since we got started in '05,
I
December
know.
of '05.
From packing hundreds of boxes
To
to
a few.
minimal.
Yeah,
But, you know, we're still there, and we'll be there until they don't need us anymore.
and we'll probably
And-
still be there for our
and
veterans.
That's right. Blue Star Mothers has been since 1942, and we hope to continue that and to be there for the past and
Yeah,
the present.
It started in Flint, Michigan, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a prayer for our nation and a prayer for all of our troops and a prayer for America in general. You know, times are kind of tough sometimes, but we can make it through. We have since beginning, and we will till the end make it through everything. So just keep everybody in our prayers. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Exactly. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to
And
all of you.
we'll see you in January and after the new year.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Carmen Ball. I'm the director at Hedges Regional Speech and Hearing Center, and we'll talk a little bit today about Hedges itself, but more specifically, a very important part of Hedges, the hearing side of what we do. Joining me today is Dr. Kim Tinius, a recent addition at Hedges, and we're so happy to have her with us because not only is she fabulous with hearing, but she likes to talk about what she does too, so this is great. Kim, tell us a little bit about where you come from and how long you've been at Hedges.
Okay, I'm from the Wichita, Kansas area. I'm Shocker through and through. I graduated from there. I started here at Hedges around, I don't know, mid-April, or actually beginning of April. And I've been here since then. I've been working with a lot of different clientele. I did my residency over in Tulsa for a couple years. I was over there serving the full gamut from pediatrics all the way to my adult population, and so did a lot of different things there, and I like to bring what I've learned from my education here into Hedges. My background comes from a long line of hearing loss due to my son. He was born with hearing loss, and we discovered that when he was 3 years old, so we found that all out, and then we decided, hey, I'm going to go into school and finish my degree, and I did, and I got my bachelor's completed in communication science disorders and physics. So I did all that, and then was going to become a sign language interpreter, so I know a little sign language to go with that. And after that time, we were deciding, hey, you know what? We go to audiologists all the time with my son. We might as well pursue that. So I went back to school, got my doctorate in audiology, and so here I am today, not knowing I was going to be in Enid, America working, but I'm loving the town. It's a great place to be, and my family's going to be making a transition to buy a house here, so I'm looking for real estate.
Oh, that you
know.
don't want to say.
But anywho, I am looking for a house, so that's something we're going to be doing here. So yeah, that's my little bit of my background. I'll probably give a little more throughout because I just like to talk. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, one of the things that I've really enjoyed having you around is that you're very good at explaining things to people when when you talk to either the older clientele or a mother with child who has a problem. There's no one better since you've been in that situation before. And one lady you were talking to, I really admired the way you talked with her, because you handled her with kid gloves, but at the same time you were very informative and helped her with that.
I try to make sure that people are walking out the doors knowing exactly where their hearing is at, what we need to do for intervention, and also where we could go after we get them to that point where they are hearing again, and involving themselves in the real world, because that's what we're all aiming to be involved. We want to know what's going on, and we just hearing is a big aspect of that for communication. So, yeah.
Since we are a nonprofit and a United Way agency, it's also really important for us and for you as well to talk hearing conservation. So Hedges involves several ways in hearing conservation, with the OSHA screenings that we do, and then also just a lot of informative discussions and seminars for people.
Right. We address hearing conservation because that's an area of audiology that I don't need the job security in. If I can educate the community about what we can do with preserving their hearing, then let's do that. Whether it be, just simply wearing hearing protection or turning down the volume on an iPod or whatever they're listening to, that's important. And those guys that are out there shooting, and gals out there shooting guns, to wear hearing protection, because the decibel level for that, like we've done in training, we know how intense that is. And so we don't need them to come in and buy hearing aids. It's just as well that we put them in the shooter's protection. I have some right here. These are shooter custom ear molds that I have.
Yours.
These are mine. I did the red, white, and blue one. Yeah, you can say I'm a Jayhawk fan too, but I won't say that too loud since I'm in the Sooner country and Boomer, or what is it? Pokes, yeah, country.
Oh, you're hurting me,
I
Kim,
know.
here.
But anywho, these are some hearing protection that you can get custom made, and Hedges does them. An audiologist makes them for you, and mine just fit right into my ear, and I have a little string there where I can put behind my neck, and so if I'm out there shooting, I can take them off if I need to. The one thing that these do is if I'm wearing them out, even if I'm outside shooting game, I can hear my fellow hunter talking to me because they have a filter in them that allows me to protect my ears but also have a conversation. And also if I'm at a shooting range, that whole thing, it helps me with that. Now I've worn these at concerts as well, and I also wore them in hotel rooms because sometimes it gets kind of loud. So yeah, we do these at Hedges, but you can get these made at other places, but I know that we'll get these taken care of for you, and they're very reasonable on the pricing. They're a lot cheaper than a hearing aid, I'll just tell you that now.
Yeah. Our society is noisy enough already.
Yes.
You don't need to.
Yes.
If you can protect yourself in noisy things that you do, all the better.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So.
But, Cy, there are people who don't protect their hearing or
Yes.
over time for one reason or another haven't,
Yes.
and they need hearing aids. You can also help them with those.
We can. I'll have you come in for a hearing test. We'll do an extensive evaluation on you, and we'll have you come in, and I'll ask a bunch of questions, of course. And if, based off of the hearing results, if you do need amplification, I will suggest what kind for that hearing loss. The big thing about my working with you is I work also with the doctors. I make sure that we have communications there, because we need to make sure if anything medically is happening, that we need to take care of that, address that, and then move on for amplification. I do have a display here of hearing aids that are out there, and if you see all the different hearing aids, as my box is coming apart here, you have the hearing aids that are all the way down to the teeny tiny hearing aids, such as that. It's a little bitty hearing aid right there. We have those as well, all the way up to the bigger size hearing aids that go behind the ear. Now this is the biggest hearing aid I have, and this hearing aid tends to be for one person that has a big hearing loss. Majority of my patients that come in are in hearing aids that are this small. So pretty teeny tiny hearing aid, but it has a lot of power to it. And I will put a hearing aid on a person that won't just fit that person for that day or for that year, but I'm looking into the future in the next 4 years where their hearing might be, and making sure that that hearing aid will fit for the next several years. Because hearing aids can be costly, but it's very valuable. And also, that all being said, the hearing aids typically have a life expectancy about 4 to 6 years, but I'm noticing it's going a little further. The manufacturers are doing a great job on making a hearing aid that's going to work, okay? I will show, I did have some hearing aids made for myself. This is a hearing aid that's deep into the ear canal, that's teeny tiny in there, and you can barely see it. And I'm going to pull it out real quick. This hearing aid's pretty small. It's that little teeny tiny hearing aid. We do hearing aids that are that big, that are custom hearing aids. We also do hearing aids at different sizes, but I will show you the ones that go in the ear canal. A lot of people ask about, and this one goes in the ear as well, and this fits my entire ear. You can see that. So we got the little bitty guys all the way up to the fuller shells, to ones that go behind the ear. Okay, so those are some options and choices that we have in our center that we can provide. And the hearing aids, you know, they come with the warranties with them, and we have a lot of price ranges. And I tend to look at a person's lifestyle before I make a call on what kind of hearing aid to suggest. A lot of the hearing aids now we can stream directly from an iPhone to your ears. So if you get a phone call and you use an iPhone, that iPhone information of that call can go right to your hearing aids, and so you're hands-free and you're hearing with both ears. Also, with the hearing aids now, they have it where if you are watching TV, you can watch that TV and have that voice or that sound go right into your ears as well. So there's a lot of different options out there for our patients, especially the wife or the husband that has good hearing, that has the volume on the TV turned down way low, and the spouse who has it turned up really high. So we're saving marriages somewhat, just saying. So we're trying. So that's one area of Hedges that we do a lot of is hearing. If I'm going to diagnose the hearing loss, I got to make sure that I have a way of intervention. So the hearing aid would be amplification for a person.
And I've heard you say that as much as cell phones have changed in the last 5 to 10 years, so have hearing aids.
Yes, what I'm hearing from manufacturers is they're changing about every 18 months, which I think is crazy fast because we are really in a fast-paced society, but that's how fast the technology is changing, and they're going where it's wireless for the programming now. So it's kind of a cool step that we're making into that future. And you know, we talk about amplification. There's also another avenue that we're bringing into Hedges from my background due to my son's hearing loss is cochlear implants. So I segue into that where you have hearing aids that you've been wearing and you have a big hearing loss and it's just not enough, then you know, we can look into cochlear implants and see what we can do with that. Because cochlear implant is a device that fits behind the ear that is surgically implanted by a surgeon. And the person who wears that device behind the ear has a little magnet that sticks onto that skull, and that's how that processor works. But it allows that patient to hear at normal volumes, once again, that they may have never heard, or return them to what normal volume is at. I mean, that's amazing to me.
There are so many exciting things happening with
Really,
hearing,
yeah.
and it's just amazing. If someone is interested in having their hearing checked, they can call out to Hedges and set up a hearing evaluation, a full diagnostic hearing evaluation with Kim. Takes an hour, and then plenty of time for questions and that kind of thing. We strongly encourage you to do that, and then you can, as my husband just did not too long ago, he was thrilled. He did well. He didn't have. He was kind of had the shadow of doubt that he might need hearing aids in the future, but right now, he was thrilled to find out that you told him he didn't really need it.
Yep, he did not.
And I think you told him I needed to speak up. So there was that discussion.
We're working on that. It's
That's the other side of what Hedges does.
Yes.
We also do speech therapy, and with mostly children right now, but we'll be doing probably some more programs in the future on that. And bringing Kim back to talk a little bit more about cochlear implants later.
Right.
We are so excited to have Kim and the options that she brings in with the cochlear implants and a lot of the newer technologies. It's just incredibly exciting. But always the best is to protect your hearing.
Absolutely, yes.
Hedges is out on East Randolph, 2615 East Randolph. We've been out there since 1968, 1969. We are between the two, perfectly situated
Right.
between the two universities, NOC and Northwestern. I mentioned earlier that we're a nonprofit.
Right.
We are a United Way agency, so we do see a lot of children who are on Medicaid.
Right.
But we are definitely open to the public and to all income levels.
Right.
If there's a program out there that deals with low cost or
Right.
scholarship programs on both speech or hearing, we definitely want to be part of that mix, and we are in many ways. You've worked with the senior hearing aid program through
Right.
the state,
Right.
and continue that when we came here. So there's many things going on.
Right, and I will say that a portion of every hearing aid sales goes to our speech therapy programs that we have that scholarship-wise. So
To help support
yes,
a child's speech
absolutely,
therapy.
absolutely.
So that's an amazing part.
Mhm.
And that is not like getting a toaster when you buy a car.
No.
This is
No.
this is an incredible thing to help
Right.
a child speak well and
Right,
experience the communication that most of us take for granted.
absolutely. Yeah.
But hearing is so important.
Right.
And I know that every once in a while you get to have a great experience of
I do.
helping someone hear
I
for
do.
almost the first time.
I do.
I can't even imagine what that feels like.
It happens on more than I think, because in every moment's a new moment. So, every hearing loss is different. So it's like it happened actually on Monday where we activated someone for the first time. Actually, he hadn't heard in 40 years, and he was able to hear some of the high-pitched sounds that, we hear all the time, and now this gentleman is hearing once again.
You'll be able to hear birds and
Yes. and-
children speak
Yes,
and everything
absolutely,
like that. How
absolutely.
incredible.
Yes.
So we also are available because we are a nonprofit. We love to talk. I mean, nonprofits love that.
Yes.
So if you need a speaker for an event, please call out and call Hedges. Talk to myself, Carmen Ball, and we can line you up with a speech pathologist or with Kim, and just get some more information out there, because it's all about communication. We all work better when communication works really, really well.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for
Sure.
being here and explaining things, and we will have you back and talk more about Cochlear later.
No problem. I'd
All
love
right.
to come.
So thank you very much to Visit Enid and Enid TV for letting us speak about Hedges Speech and Hearing.
Looks pretty good to me. Thanks, Derek. Well, we're just taking a few moments to look at an upcoming episode of City Connections, and we want to take time to say thank you for watching ETN over the past year. And I also want to take time to say, on behalf of all of us, the City of Enid, and also the staff here at ETN, I want to wish you the very best this holiday season. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and also the very best of the new year of 2015. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays, everyone.